So guys, today's video starts with me going to the market to obtain some meat, and here I am at the butcher or at the butchery where I am buying some meat. This is the butcherman and she's cutting some meat for me to take home. After that, I boarded a boda. This is what we use for transport here in the village. And like now I'm on top of a motorbike headed home. So upon reaching home, I have to be given something to eat because my mom terms me as the child who likes eating. So the first thing when I get home is I am given roasted meat one after another, and I enjoy as the meat I came with from the market is on fire cooking. So this was then boiled until soft and tender. My mother likes very soft meat. And as usual, I don't like eating, but food just likes going into my mouth. Like you see now, that food just decided that it wants to go inside my mouth to be tasted. So I tasted it to find out if it is soft or we still have a long way to go. And for this particular meat, it was very hard. So we had to boil further. So in the meantime, we are going to light the other cooker so that we can be cooking the rest of the food as the meat cooks on the other one, because it is very hard. It seems very hard, and we still need to make some ugali and also some vegetables. And this dog likes the kitchen like no other dog. Anytime you light up fire, it comes around. So some ugali will be cooking on this other fire, and that is akaraya, the one that we use to cook some ugali. So this water that has been put on fire is for cooking ugali. And in the meantime, Samim is going to prepare her tomatoes and onions that she's going to use to cook the meat. And from the other end, Elvi is preparing some spring onions that we're going to use to cook the meat. Now, this is the light we use here. It is a solar enabled light. That is the one we use here in the village. We still don't have electricity up to this time. So that is our source of light in the kitchen. So at this time, the meat was tender and the broth was still too much, or the water that we had put to cook the meat was too much. So it had to be removed so that we cook the meat and use the soup or the broth as soup. And so back on the fire, the meat went, and at this time we added some oil. That is some cooking oil bought. So we added some oil and cooked the meat until it was somehow dry, or had something like a dry envelope around the meat. And that is how we blow fire when it goes off. We use a metallic pipe. So when a bit crispy dry, we added the green onions, which we will cook until wilted, and then we will add the tomatoes afterwards. So this will cook into a paste. The tomatoes will cook into a paste, and then some salt will be added like that, and then we will take back the broth. And if possible, if the soup is not enough, we add some water. If enough, we just leave it with that broth. And of course, some were left for me to drink. And here is some broth for me to enjoy, and that was salt. The foods were then exchanged. The meat was brought on this cooker, and the ugali water taken to the other cooker, since my sister is the one who is going to be cooking the ugali, and she likes cooking from the cooker in the corner. And at this time, the ugali water is also ready. It is boiling, and she's going to go ahead now to cook the ugali. So ugali is usually made from milled maize flour, and it is just cooked from water and the flour. So once the water boils, you add the flour and mix, and add flour and mix, add flour and you mix as you maintain your fire until the ugali cooks, just like that. So I'll soon post a full video of how we make ugali and how we make the ugali flour. So stay tuned, ensure you subscribe and put on the post notification bell so that you will be notified when that comes. So at this time, our ugali is ready, and also the meat is ready. So we are going to take out the ugali from the fire and go ahead and make some vegetable that we'll use to accompany this ugali and the meat. So Samim has been cutting some tomatoes and some onions while the ugali was being cooked, that she's now going to use to cook the vegetables. And also we have some meat that was left yesterday. This one was made from dried meat, the meat that is dried under the sun. So I'll eat this one because I've missed, and they ate when I was not there. And we call that particular type of meat alea. It is preserved by drying it under the sun after boiling it, and now it is dry, totally dry. Now Samim is going to cook some vegetables, and she has placed some spring onions in a sufuria, which she will cook until wilted, and add some tomatoes and add the cabbages. That's all. And of course some salt, and this will be cooked for like 3 minutes. So it is time for serving, and this is mine. Like I told you, I will be eating the alea as they will be eating the fresh meat. Now this is a good time for you to go and subscribe, subscribe, hit that subscription button if you haven't, and leave a sweet comment and give this video a thumbs up. And if you have a thumbs down, kindly keep it to yourself, and enjoy this video. Continue enjoying this video. It's time to eat, and unfortunately I'll eat alone. So bye, and see you in my next one. Bye. Love you all.